Our volunteers work on restoration projects all over the country, some big, some small, all of them ambitious. What marks out a great restoration scheme for us is a positive health and safety culture. We've put together this video to encourage all restoration schemes to give their health and safety regime a checkup. We've distilled everything we've seen into 3 key principles and invite you to see how your organisation measures up. In our experience, the first step of improving health and safety isn't about fancy policies or clever documents. It's just about involving everyone. Yes, it needs strong, clear leadership, but health and safety is for everyone, so it has to involve everyone.
And so it starts with the board and they have to lead it. But it's more important that you work with people who are on the ground doing the job. There needs to be good communication from the board down to the volunteers who are actually working, because we're all volunteers, and then from the volunteers back to the board. The way in which you do it is to take everyone with you. That's the most important thing. You can't sit in your office, design a document and then send it out by email to 20 people and say, right, this is what we're going to do from now on, and expect everyone to think that's a great idea, we'll do that. You really need to involve all the people as you're working on something.
Make sure you give health and safety a high profile and keep it that way. Encourage people to think about health and safety with articles in magazines and discussions on site. Finally, make sure you clearly demonstrate how health and safety is a key part of all of your project planning. It's true that those at the top have to take the lead when making decisions and setting policies and creating documents. But it will mean nothing if it's not communicated down to all the people that are affected by that policy. Also, it's quite helpful to explain the rationale and the background to why you're making those decisions. And finally, make sure this communication is two-way. Don't just tell people what to do, actually listen to how they feel about it and what they think.
People learn from other people, so you've got to teach that lesson well in the very first instance, and then it starts getting the norm. People learn because other people remind them. It's not just the leader that will walk around going, your safety glasses, they're not on. Actually, other volunteers will remind other volunteers that they've got it on, so other people are then taking safety seriously because they can see the benefit of it.
Get a good induction process and make this the model for every communication you have on site. It's your board's first and best chance to put over your concerns and worries about the site and make sure that everybody understands the part they have to play. It's an opportunity for you to clearly state what your concerns and priorities are for your site.
We've just been working on an induction document, so I drafted something, I took it to the site leader. He suggested amendments he would like to see. We repeated the process. It's taken a long time to get a document that we know that we can apply, that meets the requirements of the law, and it's worth that time because it makes sure everybody buys into what we're doing and we've got something that's really working for us.
Now the good news is you don't have to get this exactly right first time. Be open to feedback and make sure you allocate some time and resources in a few months to review and audit how effective your health and safety is actually working on site. Use this feedback to truly understand what's going on your site and revise your policies and practices accordingly.
I don't want to go home at the end of my week's holiday knowing that somebody's injured themselves because of something that has been overlooked. So we reassess all the time, and anybody that's not happy, it's an open door policy. They come and tell us, and there's no fear and shame in it.
Actively seek feedback. Not just the legal requirements like incident reporting, but things like near-miss cards and health and safety surveys. By taking this feedback directly from your volunteers, you can refine your policies to make sure they work well on site and everyone's protected. So in summary, if your organisation embraces these 3 key principles of involve, communicate and review, then everyone will benefit on your sites.
By properly implementing these kind of requirements, we can make life better for everybody.
To make sure that your volunteers come back year on year and don't get injured, don't go away giving everybody else a bad impression, and bring back more friends. And it is really important that you feel safe, that you feel comfortable, that you have the knowledge of what's happening and what to do and what not to do. There's no way I would ever come back to a volunteer somewhere where I didn't feel safe and didn't think they'd got everything in place.